Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Other Team Podcast. I am Jacob Handy, alongside Terrence Scott,
Yo, what it do?
Zachary Handy. Nice dab, sir.
Please do.
As always, this podcast is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Come prop up with Thrive Fantasy. As always, this week over 50,000 in prizes from NFL to PGA. Starts Thursday night with the Thursday night football game always, and then you can move through golf through the weekend. NFL includes the $15,000 NFL Sunday game, and then the $7,500 touchdowns only. Enter our code, the other team, all one word. And you will get they will match your deposit $20 to $50. So come prop up.
Start depositing with the other team code. Start depositing.
Free money.
Season
Free
is running out. It's free money, man. Do it.
Free monies. It's crazy how nice free monies is.
Free money is the best. I got hit with free money from like a bookie this week. And I'm just saying right now, like free money is the best shit. So it's like, if we're giving these people free money, why would they not take it? I don't get it.
Zach, don't plug your illegal addictions. I'm just playing.
Look, I'm just saying, free money is great.
Zach, do you have any new
This guy
homies?
is a
Did you
jerk.
switch up your pops back there this week?
All we did was make an addition.
Okay, who got?
So now
who's
Iron
joining the
Man's
squad?
sitting super tall on top of Topanga, right next to
Same.
Topanga. Amazon exclusive, the one and only Buzz Lightyear, right there.
Oh,
Bro.
that's pretty tight. Okay,
That's fire, dude.
That's
I'm
pretty
telling you.
You know, it's crazy
That
you have that out there
producer
today.
Brenda is crazy. She be banging
did
it,
she
bro.
know? I saw today. Today was like the 25th anniversary, like 25 years ago today.
Yeah.
Toy Story
I
came out. or
feel
something
like she had already bought it, or maybe that enticed her to buy it. But it was only like $10 on Amazon. It's an Amazon exclusive.
Wow.
They were running low on how many were left, so set producer copped it, man. Banger,
Yeah.
right?
Bang! That's a banger. Wow, well
Yeah.
done.
It's cool. He's like kind of scowling. Looks pretty
Menacing.
He's got like a one eyebrow, like a rock thing going. It's pretty good.
Thanksgiving episode here. You know, thankful
Happy
for
turkey,
Zach's
man.
producer over there, always hooking him up with fire props.
Really, really.
We're all just gonna say everything we're thankful for. I'm just kidding. Stop. I'm just kidding. My name's Jacob.
We're going here.
and I'm thankful for my family. Just kidding. With Thanksgiving, honestly, comes down to the meal. Every Thanksgiving, and I feel like there's two types of people in this world. Either you go for it, because like turkey is turkey. I mean, you can only do it so many ways. It is what it is. But you
It's
go for
overrated,
sides,
honestly.
or you go for desserts. Now on the sides, you're gonna have mashed potatoes, stuffing, macaroni and cheese, cranberry sauce. Is that a side? I don't even know what that is. Desserts, pecan pie, pumpkin pie, any pie you want. Maybe like our sister gets kind of crazy with the baking, and we'll have like some type of cookie or pastry available.
Right.
Where do you fall on the fence?
I think I like
Mashed
the
potatoes
sides
is
more.
always fire.
Oh, it's fine. And
Mashed
it's like-
potatoes is your go-to too?
Thanksgiving, it's got to be there. And I'm
Mashed
not even a mashed
potatoes is
potato
definitely
guy.
on my plate.
Well, yeah, of
1000% on
course,
my
but
plate.
like I don't know if it's my favorite side. I'm definitely going
Also like
straight for
stuffing, I
mac
like
and
it.
cheese.
Oh,
But
stuffing.
Great for the mac and cheese every time.
I love mac
Here's
and
what's
cheese, but I
great.
don't love mac and cheese.
About the sides and about Thanksgiving, it's like one of the only times you can just completely be gluttonous monster and just cover everything in a slab of gravy. Like just lay the whole thing over it, and like no one can really say anything. Probably half of the room's already done the same. So I think that's why I
maybe
like the
just you, Big
sides.
Z.
Like what
Yeah.
are you
I don't
gonna
use my gravy like
do? What do you when you're a child?
I
what do you mean
proportion
use
my
the
gravy.
like
I'm
like-
a not food touch everything kind of guy. So
I
like,
kinda
you
like
can't
my
have food touching
separate.
food.
I mean, it can, but I prefer
it
for
can,
not to.
but like I don't need it to like ocean at one point where it's
Thank
just
you.
all in one juice. Like
Thank you.
I need it like still sectioned, but it's all on one plate. But I still need it
Absolutely.
respectfully knowing its place.
I want to respectfully eat my stuffing just as stuffing, and then switch over to mashed
Obviously,
potatoes.
I didn't.
and
I'm not
respect-
like.
and not
I
just
don't know,
scoop
Big
it
Z.
all
You was like-
together.
Gravy boy.
Yeah, like you got to
Double-
put gravy on the
Who
whole
double
got
ladle
the
up.
plate.
ladle?
Yeah, you gotta
exactly
put the whole
double
gravy on the
Later.
whole. I didn't know this was the childish Thanksgiving. You guys eat at the children's table still? Is that what's going on here? You guys still eat
Zach,
children's
You
table?
just
I
eat
can't
at
wait to see
you
Zach on
eat at a
Thursday.
table
He's gonna
by
be-
yourself.
You know when you're pouring a lot of something and you have to go like down and up again to give it that little weep. I can't wait to see Zach hit the gravy ladle like that.
What was that Family Guy episode? They made a joke about somebody. They was like, "Father, give me a."
Oh, John
Goodman.
Goodman.
Yeah, John Goodman. That's
Gotta
Zach
have
at the
what's
table.
finished. There's never anything left when you're finished.
Yes, that's Zach at the table on Thanksgiving. Apparently,
I'm a
That's
dessert
it.
guy, by the way. I don't go for the sides. I like because I want the pie. Like I want like 3 servings of pumpkin pie.
I'm not gonna lie. Why is that not breaking news? I feel like that's not breaking news. Like
I love
Jake's a dessert
Jake-
guy.
pies.
Jake's
I
spinning
love-
I
meat,
want
and
the
you're like,
pie.
he's a dessert guy. Like, oh, no shit, huh?
I'm going in for like I'm saving room so I can go in on like multiple slices of multiple pies.
The lemon marine pie.
No lemon meringue. I'm actually not big on lemon meringue, but like
Here you go.
apple, pecan's
Solid.
not even bad. Pumpkin pie
Not
is like my
bad.
shit. I will eat like a whole pumpkin.
not a
pie
pie
myself
person,
if
to
you,
be
if you
honest.
allow me to. Oh, you're crazy.
I'd rather eat like a cake
Oh.
over a pie for sure. I don't really like.
I don't know if
I'm
I
not
agree
a
with
big
that.
time sweets like that. But yeah, no, I don't really like pie like that. Like,
Oh, hot ass piece of apple pie with
I
like
think
vanilla bean ice
peach,
cream on
peach
top.
pie. Peach pie is
Boom!
really good. I don't even know. Peach pie is really fire.
I think we need to start making find a way to transition out of turkey for Thanksgiving. Like, I'm over turkey. It's
Well,
not
that's
that
why
great.
somebody
I've
needs
always
to
ate
clutch up
turkey and
every year
ham
and bring a
also.
ham because the ham
Every
is
year.
honestly better.
Ham's
Every
cool.
year,
I'm
ham
thinking
and turkey is at the table every year. Gotta have options.
No turkey, no ham, Zach. What the fuck are you eating for your holiday dinners?
I'm thinking we need to find a way to transition into like prime ribs as thing.
Okay.
We start making that like a national thing.
Okay.
Because that's really
You can
that's
bring
good
whatever
eats.
you want.
Because that's really good eats right there. You know?
It
That's
is.
some good eats.
It's
If
a
you want to
potluck.
deck out, you know, 3 families with a couple prime ribs and some shrimp.
I need
skewers,
like the
Zach, you go
supermarkets
crazy.
to start like making it a thing. Like the holidays, the prime rib goes on super special, so everyone can enjoy one. You know what I'm saying?
Look at
That
Zach just
sounds
making up
like
his
good eats.
own rules. Just
I
making
need
up
to. We
his
need to
own
change the rules.
Oh, the
I think we
cattle
need
are
to change
like-
rules.
Board of Governors needs to change the rules on fucking Thanksgiving.
Was ever in
No
charge
more
of
turkey. We're
Thanksgiving
doing prime
rules?
ribs.
What are
every
those
year.
cow commercials? Who is
Prime
the
ribs and
Chick-fil-A
ham.
commercials? They're like,
Yeah.
no sir.
Oh,
Prime
eat more,
ribs and
eat more
hams
chicken.
from
Isn't
now
that
on.
Chick-fil-A commercial? Eat more chicken.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking
Those cows are sweating it right now.
Those ribs are fire.
But yeah.
Well, before, what kind of ribs do you prefer? Like, what type of ribs? Like, what animal rib?
No, he's saying prime rib.
prime
So
rib. That's like steak. That's
It's like-
delicious.
Yeah, it's steak. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't
Prime
fuck
rib is
prime
fire.
Prime rib is good though.
It's just very expensive.
It's really expensive. It's fine. Who always brings it? Someone always brings it.
It
for
used to be
Thanksgiving?
mom and Mr. John Spear would bring.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wonder if
Crazy.
we're gonna get- someone else gonna have to clutch. up
Nobody's
this year then.
clutching up on that. Nobody's clutching up on that. I'm telling you right now.
It's unfortunate.
Nobody-
So ham,
It's
so
like
ham
he's
and
sick
turkey.
right
Let
now.
me,
Let me,
let me
probably be
prepare
like,
myself
Big
48
Z's
hours in
sick.
advance for ham.
Big
and
Z
turkey.
sick right now.
ham is fire though. Like I'm big
Ham's
on
fire.
ham.
Just
for
make.
sure.
Well, we got to talk about this anyway. Zach, just make your food in a cup again.
Oh,
You'll be
Terrence
solid.
doesn't
Terrence
believe in the
is
Bloody
super
Mary.
anti. This is the
Just get
children's hour on the
get you some
podcast.
highs.
I don't fuck with
Damn
Bloody
it.
Marys either though.
I
But-
know Jacob doesn't.
But I don't fuck with them for the same. It's not the same. Like Terrence calls it meal in a cup, which is honestly one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. I just don't,
Dude,
fuck with it
eats
'cause
like
I just don't
he's
prefer
60.
the taste. Like it's just not my
Dude
thing.
ain't got no teeth right now. He needs his food in his cup.
This has been brought up because I recently had
NutriBullet.
Sunday off.
and NutriBullet
football.
and shit up.
Which- and I never had them off, so I made these really amazing Bloody Marys. People who are listening that do enjoy a Bloody Mary and are
All of
mature
zero.
and not childish. Kyle, who listens, actually had one of these a week before when I made them over on that Sunday. Really fire, did the whole 9 yards, bacon, celery salt.
That was a
and
good
everything.
homie. He'll lie. and
Really
say he loved
fired.
it.
No, they were bomb. Everyone for sure loved them. And these fools are childish and are telling me that they don't like Bloody Marys. Like,
Nah, I'm not big on Bloody Marys. I'm
No,
not really big
sir.
on like Mitchies. I'm not big on tomato
Ah.
juice with my alcohol. That's the way it
Exactly.
is.
Like I'm good on the ketchup in my drink, man. Like I'm
oh my
solid.
God.
I'm solid on the Heinz in the cup, man. I'm good.
Children hour on the podcast. I'm upset about it now.
Dude, this dude was like, I put a waffle in it. I throw celery. It's
Yeah,
bacon.
it's still
I'm like,
breakfast in
we're
a cup.
going the wrong way here. Like, He was adding things on like, yeah, it's this, it's that. Like,
I'm gonna buy
getting
like
hyped, and
a
I'm like,
pound
no,
of shrimp
sir.
and have shrimp with my
Pound?
breakfast and put a shrimp in my Bloody Mary next week. Stay tuned. I'm gonna tweet it from the other team podcast page.
Stay tuned, Big Z. You definitely are
I'm a-
not fighting in a
I'm
weight class. We
gonna
had you
make a
another
bomb
week.
one. I'm gonna tweet
You
it
were
from
right.
the page, and I'm gonna be like yes or no, and I'm gonna see what the people think.
You were right about the weight class you would fight in. You were right. It was not what we were saying.
I'm not getting down to one whatever you thought.
Even if you fought seriously, you're like, nah, coach, I'm still eating this. So it's like,
I
all
have
right,
to
well,
be like 155.
you're gonna have to have a chin on you there.
Might have. I don't actually. I don't know. That's another inside joke.
That's funny.
Anyway.
It's actually really funny.
The next thing I'm
The chin
thankful
is funny.
for
Stupid.
is that rat mole Montrez. I'm just playing. I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. I'm thankful that we
my
got
God.
ended.
I ain't even a Clipper fan. What the fuck, Montrez? You sounded like the mole rat, homie. I ain't even a Clipper guy.
Definitely
No, I'm
looking
doing it.
sus.
I'm doing it. What the fuck, Montrez? You sounded like a mole rat. That shit, all that anonymous shit clearly was you. And then you fucking come out and say the Clippers didn't want you and all that. Like, why would
we?
you?
Why would we?
Like,
Also,
why
King
would I
Dark
want
shit.
somebody the moment he doesn't the moment anything gets weird, he goes to the other side. Like, I'm
Went
straight
to
on
the
that.
ops. Really went to the
After
ops.
doing all that yapping. Like,
Big
that's
Him
yaps.
and Pat Bev are like low key the ringleaders, or were like
when the
of-
Clippers supported him when he left during the bubble, the Clippers are supportive of him. Like, I don't understand why he has such an issue.
He went through a
But
real tough time right there.
it's also exactly like everybody handles his own situations, but it did seem like the Clippers were supportive in that. But we also
Super.
don't know what was happening behind the scenes and so forth. But damn, it sounds like he was definitely a mole rat. And
definitely
it's
sound like
unfortunate
you were
because Montrez was
Joe
cool.
Von Buddha's guy. Definitely sounds like that and looks like that. You know, walk like a duck, talk like a duck scenario right there for sure.
I think Lou's gone now too, though, because like Lou lost a lot
I
of value.
don't know. I think Lou.
I want to
before
keep
Trez
Lou and
will
move Pat.
I don't know if I want to move either.
I'm
by
down
the
to
way.
move either. I'll move either.
And or both.
If you can get a good point guard for either one
yeah,
of these
like
guys.
John Wall's saying he wants out. Like, yeah, obviously, if I can land a John Wall, but I don't know if
realistically,
it's
you're not getting
necessary.
John Wall with the numbers.
I don't think
you
so at
just-
all.
With the
Not
Yeah,
even
obviously
with
it'd be
this.
more. There'd be picks and all that in there. I just don't know if the team really needs to make these moves. They're not done for sure. But you made the move that you really had to make, Ibaka. Like you had to snag that.
I think that was one of two moves you had to make.
You don't have to make this like elite point guard move.
Not elite, but an upgrade, period. Has to. Pat Beverly cannot be my starting point guard. It's still glaring. It's still right there in our face. That's why, like, I'm super happy about the Ibaka thing, but like, to me, this Clipper team's nowhere near a contender until they fix the point guard situation. Nowhere near one.
This Clipper team,
I think
right
Ibaka
now,
was a
is-
fantastic
is
signing. Yeah.
Top 3 in the West.
Still not a contender. So that's fine. They're not going to contend for the
Without
championship come
question.
playoff time.
I don't think they're
Not
better
gonna
than Denver.
contend.
I don't think they're better than Denver.
Denver lost a lot.
Lost their. I don't think so. Denver also has a lot in the cupboard. It's like
I'm thinking they're
Denver
they're
had
not
too many
better than
people on their
Portland.
roster. Denver had
This
a lot of
roster.
folks on their roster.
This Clipper
They
roster,
have guys that weren't
as
even here.
as constructed, basically, except you get rid of Shamit and Montrez, and then you add Kennard and Ibaka.
Solid, super solid.
That team, so basically the same team with 2 upgrades, won 50 whatever was a 57 paced win team last year, and got the 2 seed, and legitimately should have been in the Western Conference Finals. And
But
you're telling
other
me they're
teams
not
improved.
a lock as a top 3 team?
Other
That's
teams
fine.
improved.
They might finish there,
Who
but I'm
beneath
telling you,
them, who beneath them has improved so much that they can overtake
Portland.
them? Maybe, and it's not
Portland
even for sure.
and the Lakers are
Already
dominant.
above them. Already, the Lakers
And
are
I
already
think
the
Dallas
number 1.
can as well.
the
Dallas can
picture
as well.
isn't
But these are
finishing top
maybes.
3 in the West. Who cares about that? I've seen
it
the
really a
Chris
maybe
Paul
to think
Clippers
Luka-
finish
That
top
was
3
just
in
the
the
question
West.
we just asked.
I
No, I'm
finished.
saying, but like, is
I've
it really
said
a
contender.
maybe?
Oh,
Sorry,
1,000%.
I don't think it's really a
maybe.
maybe to think that the Mavericks could finish top 3. I don't think that's a maybe because it's
It's
not a maybe to
maybe.
think Luka could be an MVP next year and
It's a
take
maybe,
that
yeah, they
ginormous
could.
step.
They for
And
sure could.
Dallas really takes that step. Like
This
that team
Clipper
looked
roster
really, really good in the bubble.
is way more likely to make a top 3 seed than the Mavs roster. Way more likely.
I don't know. Way more. No, that's like They're right
Are
there.
we still
Same.
forgetting the two-headed tandem is still better than the other two-headed tandem?
The other two-headed tandem is very good, like comparable. I don't think we're head. I don't think we're head and
feel
shoulders
like-
above Dallas at all. Not until we fix the point guard situation.
It's so not that dire. It's so
Oh,
not that dire.
absolutely. The playoffs showed me how dire it was.
Yeah, no, the playoffs showed you how dire the big position was. That's why they lost. The rest of it isn't why the Clippers lost.
I think they lost because of their bigs and the lack
And
of
the point
having-
guard. There was two major
having
needs.
guys that
I
better
think
create shots. It put too much pressure on Paul and Kawhi. Like it made me realize that these guys are playmakers and so forth, but at the same time, they still need a traditional playmaker to take a lot of pressure off of them.
I
might
agree.
have
It's a
also
lot
been
of pressure,
stagnant.
but like Paul and Kawhi low-key delivered. They weren't the reason the Clippers lost.
You can't say Paul delivered.
Paul fell off, but
Paul-
like he had a bad stretch. But as a whole, Paul really was there. In the games that mattered.
The whole season? In the whole season, yes.
Yeah.
When
But
we got,
when it got
that
late
Denver
in the-
series,
but
that Denver series,
The whole bubble was weird. I'm not gonna judge Paul off the bubble, but
the
he
closeout
didn't-
games pre-game 7, Paul George was there, and Kawhi was. They averaged almost. Kawhi, I think, averaged 30. Like
I
those
think-
guys weren't the reason you lost.
Much-
Lou
I
Williams
think-
couldn't shoot, and Montrez got
I don't-
absolutely torched. Those
I
are
don't
two of
think
the
I
reasons
was.
you lost.
Zach, you said Paul and Kawhi were the reason why they lost.
No, I said the point guard is what the lack of point guard is one of the
Yeah.
reasons I think, because we had Pat Bev come back and foul out in like 19 minutes or less a lot of time. Like our point guard deficiency was so blatant. We never had one all year. We continuously have talked about it on this podcast. You can go back all season, talked about
They
it
need a
on
point
this
guard.
podcast. We know it needed to be addressed. There was two needs. Like, yes, I'm happy about Ibaka, but without addressing both, like I don't think this team's a contender. Looking at what the rest of the West has done, in particularly the Trailblazers and the Lakers.
I think without a doubt the Clippers are the two.
The
seed
Clippers
right
could have
now
got
in the
Chris
West.
Dunn because like
Which is fine. They were the 2 seed last year, Jacob. And what is that? What the fuck is the 2 seed? The CP team
you're a
was a top
contender.
3 seed.
Means
No,
you're a
it doesn't.
contender.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
It does.
No,
Unless
it
you're
doesn't.
the
Use the
East.
eye test. Use your eye test. Use your
I'm
head. Use your
using it.
eyeballs.
I'm watching it. They should have
No.
beat Denver.
You're
I
not
watched
watching
it.
them. No,
And
you're
it
not
was
watching them.
Not the point guard
Use your
position that
common
lost.
sense.
I am.
Use your comments.
I
Man.
watched it, and it
I
wasn't
think
the
our
point guard
definition
position.
of contenders are way different. I think your bar for contender must be a lot lower too.
I mean,
I
you
think
got to be
it's-
the 1 seed. That's a wild claim for a
I
contender.
think right now in the West it is only one contender because ain't nobody beating that Laker team as constructed right now.
I think that's. I feel like you guys are just. I don't even know the
I'm
word
not
for it.
like I hate on.
Like-
I don't think I hate on LeBron, but I critique Braun more than anything. But you give that man that talent and that amount of rest that he's going to be able to get now, it's curtains.
With this much momentum, confidence that team has coming off of a championship, like
It's
it's going to be really
curtains.
tough
Like,
to beat
and
that
it's
team.
also
You
a
have to
weird
look
year
around you as
going into a
well.
new season. It's also another weird season. So
it
it's
was
like,
brutal and embarrassing the way the Clippers lost, but I think it's like making people forget like before those last 3 games how great that team was. Like, yes, the
Yeah,
Denver series.
I'm not
like,
arguing.
I
that.
don't think if you
I'm-
play that series again like that with these same guys, I don't think you would expect the same result. Like, I think you would expect the Clippers to come out of that in much less than 7 games every other time. It was sucked and it was brutal.
possibly.
But like as a whole, I look at what happened. Like the Clippers had them under wraps. Their best players performed, and it should have been there. You're up 19 in Game 6 in the late in the third. Like it wasn't like the Clippers got outclassed. This team, I think the 2 biggest things was Montrez getting cooked, right? So you were deficient at the big, and the coaching staff allowing it to happen. You already fixed both those things. Those were way more important than the point guard position. If you don't go get like a decent point guard, I think this team is still 2 seed and a contender. Period.
But I still think that hole will come out to bite them in the ass, and that will be why they don't win a title. It's about winning titles, not being the 2 seed, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Like,
That's what I'm trying to get
You can
to.
clearly see the Lakers are not about just being a cup contender in the West. Like they're about winning this shit. And you can see even in the East, like the Bucks are trying everything they can to solidify a winning this shit type of mentality. And type of
Nets
team.
too.
Oh yeah, the net, they go get Harden. It's like whoa. That might also blow that team up, but at the same time, it's
I
also
don't see
very
that playing out very
aggressive.
well.
I think
it's
it
also
points to
very
that
aggressive
mentality
move,
that
though.
you're saying.
Which I
Exactly.
like. I
Aggressive
like
to
that.
try to win.
It definitely points to that mentality because that's a wildly aggressive move to pull in 3 top 15 players. The lowest player on that team you can rate would be who? Kyrie, and he's a top 20 player,
12,
no less.
15, 20, yeah.
I love Kyrie, but man, you got to be
you can't really put him more than 20, and that's really, really, really far.
No,
for
he's
someone of his
definitely
talent.
top 20. No way in hell he's less than top 20. I'll give him top 15. But then you got Harden and KD who are top 10.
Top 10.
It's like, and then that's wild. But you're gonna also, I don't know what they have to give up. It depends. It doesn't sound like they would even be giving up.
LeVert, Dinwiddie, people gotta go.
Who was already kind of about to leave anyway.
Dinwiddie already went, didn't he?
Wild.
Wasn't he freed? Or
I think Dinwiddie was going like a sign-in trade or something, but I don't know how that's gonna work out.
I don't think it's
regardless
wild. I don't think the offseason's done, but as it sits now, you have the two LA teams, the Bucks, all that. Who do you think has had? Who would you say your best offseason was? What team is having the best offseason, and what team is having the worst offseason?
Terrence, go ahead.
Best offseason, you can argue. Well, honestly, I think the best offseason obviously been the Lakers. But to not give that answer, I think you can also go with Phoenix or Dallas. I really like what Dallas has done. I can't emphasize that enough. Like the moves Dallas has done really solidifies a little bit of their holes. Like, yes, Seth Curry was a good player, but Josh Richardson is kind of more what they need in the sense they needed more defense. Like, Finney Smith out there, who's a really good defender, but do you always want to have Finney Smith out there who's not the best scorer? Him and Josh Richardson play different positions, but to have more defenders on the floor ultimately helps your team, no matter what, especially when you have Luka, who isn't the best defender, so you're going to have to help him out. So I think moves like that is going to solidify and make that team be a top seed, but I also love what Phoenix is doing. Anytime you can get somebody like Chris Paul on a team that obviously was already budding, almost made the playoffs, fantastic moves. Because
I think
it's the real deal. Like, people don't understand how good that dude is. He's just as good as Joel Embiid, and if he's not, he's just a slight bit under him. The dude
I think both of those teams you mentioned too, like even the smaller end moves that they've made to Dallas and Phoenix. Dallas bringing back Trey Burke, who, as people who watched a lot of Clipper footage saw in that Dallas series, Trey Burke hurt us a few times, and
man, that boy got
really
the handles.
Really played well.
He played well.
And then also brought in James Johnson, who I think is a great veteran player for your bench. Really just a smooth basketball player for his size, very skilled for the position he's going to play. Very new era basketball with like small at the 4 position, but strong so you can guard defensively, but also stretch it out offensively. Love that. And the Suns did the same thing. Brought in Jay Crowder, someone who we all thought we would have liked the Clippers to take a look at.
That's what Crowder went to the Suns?
Yeah, and then kept Dario Saric, who's kind of finding a niche again in the league, and kind of towards the end of the season played really well. Right. Stretch 4 again fits into this new age basketball. Not as strong defensively as you'd like, but offensively does. So like even the lower end moves of those two teams, Dallas was good. I don't know if I put them as like the winner or near the winner of the offseason. I think Phoenix and Trailblazers, man, the Covington move.
Like obviously Lakers
really
have
big.
Won the offseason. It's they definitely improved a lot. I was telling you guys, I think they no doubt improved. I think some of it's blown out of proportion because it's just playing with LeBron and whatever. But like, they definitely got. I mean, they added and not subtracted, no doubt.
I can't believe they brought KCP back.
Which was crazy that they were able to get Schroeder, KCP, Wesley. Like that was the shooting they were looking for all year. You know what I mean? But
curtains
to go around, the Laker pick because it was just too obvious and we all think it. I was going to say Portland for sure. Like Melo has found a role that you could tell like super enjoys playing alongside McCollum and Dame. And it's just like, he's just your savvy vet who can knock down big shots and like, come through in big moments when you need it. Super good there. I think it's great that they got rid of Whiteside and like, came back with Cantor and now you got Nurkic and like, I think that big scenario is way better. I think it was Zach Lowe said Sean Whiteside is a bag or a can of Pringles. He's just empty calories. Like, yeah, he might get you 19 and 11, but it was like, it didn't matter. It was pointless and it didn't really affect you. So like, I love the Cantor and Nurkic tandem way more.
Me too.
Like, your good teams are still already good. I just said Clippers.
I don't like Cantor, but I like Nurkic. Nurkic is the ball.
Lakers still really good. Denver, I don't think they really got worse, but I don't know if they got better. They're just still really good. Like they're still right kind of where they were. I think Portland is one of those teams that got like substantially better.
I missed the team, and it's one of my favorite teams, Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Oh, I like Atlanta too. Although I thought
Nearly
this
won
too.
the offseason.
Okay, doesn't it
They
almost
might have
feel
made
like
too many moves though.
I was just about to say that. Like it's almost too much, right? Like I
They
kind of
don't
feel
have
like
enough. Like when
Well-
they sign, they have too many guards now. Like
right.
what are we
Like
doing?
what are you gonna you're gonna sit the guys you paid, or you're gonna sit your youth that you're trying to develop? Like it almost seems like.
They
But
did
like
it
if an
last
injury happens, you're solid. You know what I mean? Because then it's like I can work around that. It's almost good to have that back. But like
But I love the Gallinari signing.
I do, it's a vet you needed on that squad. It was too much youth, and you needed somebody like solidified. You know what I mean?
I think surprisingly, a team that I wouldn't say won the offseason, but had a surprisingly well offseason in my mind, if you put transactions and draft together, is the Charlotte Hornets. The LaMelo pick, we all loved. We loved the carry pick. And then you bring in Gordon, who I'm not against that. I like bringing in Gordon there. Good veteran guy for Melo, who's already got like a veteran mind in a sense. So to bring someone else that like I feel like is someone who could play well with him on the floor, and like isn't going to be an issue for him, I think, off the floor at all, probably will only help. Love it. I think they've had a quietly really good offseason.
I would have them on one of my bottom third off seasons. I don't know why you're signing Gordon Hayward to that money. If that doesn't pan
Shout out to the Gordon Hayward.
shout out, get paid, my guy. But like, if it doesn't pan out, like you're stuck there because nobody's taking that contract. Like that did not become an asset, by the way. Like, what are we doing?
You can always move contracts in this league. They just found a way to move out. They just found a way to move Al Horford's contract in Philly that no one thought you could get out of. They moved Timofey Mozgov before it was done in LA when he was signed to 64 mil. You can move contracts in this league. People who are desperate for picks and to sell and to rebuild will do it.
I love the Melo pick,
Zach.
but Gordon Hayward, like that is not. You're not. Why are you paying?
I
Gordon
like it,
Hayward?
honestly. I kind of like it. You got.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Devontae Graham and Gordon Hayward. That's solid.
That's not bad at all.
Solid.
That
You
might
gotta
miss
have
the
some
playoffs
veterans
in the East.
They'll be like
might-
6 through 9,
that
7
very
through
might.
10.
That sounds horrible.
No way. That's
I paid
improvement.
a guy $30 million and put me at 6. Maybe.
No, I'm not paying Gordon to be the best player. I'm paying Gordon to
Yeah,
like start the transition to be better here.
Exactly. To put it in terms, it's kind of like what the Padres did when they signed Eric Hosmer. That was
They
the
were
first
big down.
stone. That was the first stone to start getting guys to come over. It's like, oh, why'd you come over here? Because shit's building, and then the next guy comes.
I don't know if anybody's gonna
Because
look at Gordon
the
Hayward
type
and be
of
like,
player-
Who knows?
Gordon,
But that's the thought.
Gordon
I don't know, but that's the
went,
thought
like-
process. That's the thought process.
You could have thought longer and harder about that. I think. Like,
I
Who else
think you're
do you get if you're
underestimating
Charlotte?
Gordon.
I don't. Well, that right. That I was gonna say the only reason I can defend it is because next year, like everybody gets capped, and it's like, well, then it doesn't even matter if Charlotte has it because nobody's gonna pick you anyways. So you might as well use it this year and grab somebody good this year because you're kind of gonna get stuck with leftovers next year because your LAs and New Yorks are going to clean in your, Texas, your big markets are probably going to clean up a lot next year. So I get it in that sense. I can agree with you in that sense, Terrence. Like, who else are you going to get in that sense? So I can get on board with that. I still don't like it, but I can understand.
I think you're completely underestimating how good that team actually can be. I mean, you're going to have the most improved player, or who I think a lot of people think should have won most improved player, myself included, Devontae Graham, next to LaMelo, who we probably all would agree is probably most day one ready out of the draft, probably highest ceiling guard in the draft. And then now you put him next to Gordon Hayward, who's been in the playoffs forever in his career and played a lot of big games, and is hopefully getting near the healthiest he's been in a while. Like, I think you're underestimating how good that team can be in the East.
I look at the offseason so much different than you guys. I feel like I'm so much more patient and like I'm willing to like think things are going to work out because I had Hornets as one of my losers, and I also have the Rockets because I just don't know what the hell they're doing as one of my losers. And you guys were telling me before the show, like, you think they're okay. Like, I love the Christian Wood thing. I think you got him for a bargain. I think you got him for, I think other people were probably willing to pay him more if I were to think about it. But like, I still think like Harden and Westbrook, one, if not both, are gone by All-Star break. Like, you're still trying to get rid of that situation. I don't know.
All-Star
I just
break?
feel like
If they're not gone by the time the season started, I don't think they're leaving.
Oh, no. Yeah, I think they are. They're still gone for sure. They don't want to be there. I don't think they want to be there.
until they fucking have to start hooping again and win a couple games. Then you're just going to be like, okay, let's roll it. It's roll it again. You don't want to
No,
get traded
they're not.
mid-season like that.
Lose, and then they're gonna lose a couple. Why? If he still goes to Brooklyn, he wants to go any time and way he can.
Okay, unless I guess it depends.
I'm not
on the
saying
start,
they're
right?
gonna.
On if
They're
you're
not
winning
gonna.
or losing games.
They're not gonna trade mid-season. Mid-season, Detroit's not gonna trade all their assets for a James Harden when they're losers. Like you're only gonna go to a winner. You know what I mean?
I'm not. The only thing I was telling you about Houston is I'm not going to call them a loser until those guys are off the books. Because as of right now, I keep waiting for that Woj bomb to happen.
Exactly.
Nothing's
They're
happened.
still there.
So as long as they're still there, I'm going to look at it as they're there, and they added Christian Wood.
661.
661, which sounds like a decent offseason to me. So I'm with
And
Terrence.
Boogie Cousins.
And Boogie Cousins. And so until those guys are off the books, I can't put them as losers yet.
I just I don't know what they're doing to me. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and I don't know.
Did you guys want Barkley?
Right now they're adding big depth. Yeah. Oh, Markeith? No.
I would have
Yeah,
taken.
did you
I'm down
want
for the
Markeith?
Twins to play together. Whoa, Zach, come on, brother. You gotta have a soft
I
spot
think it's
for
cool. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't
Nah,
wasn't like a
okay,
need.
It's awkward. Whoa, do you
Oh,
hate your
wow.
twin?
Cable.
Yeah,
It's
that's what it
cable
wanna play.
version,
that.
dude.
This fool doesn't want to play with me. It's fine.
Yeah, it's wow.
I wasn't.
Well, Zach was like, "Scoop,
I'm here.
Chief."
Terrence is asking me about wins right now, not about having a moment with my twin brother.
Oh,
Okay.
plot twist, plot twist. Aaron Baines is now a Raptor. We have to shout out Aaron Baines. Anytime Aaron Baines.
Who do you guys have as some of the losers? Like, who don't you like? Like, you don't know what they did. Obviously, I feel like Detroit. I don't know what they're paying guys way too much money over there. But
Detroit's always weird. They signed the
Detroit
weirdest. I would have led with Clippers until the Ibaka news came through.
Another team I did well is the Pelicans too, though. I do like the Steve Adams.
Crushed it. Love Steve Adams.
And they signed my boy Bi to the extension. Let's get it.
Yep.
As far as losers, I don't know if there's like an overwhelming one yet. I think Doc gave up a lot. Doc and Elton gave up a lot to get Danny Green, but also you gave up the Horford contract. So it's like, I get that. That was the price you pay. Like they're willing to pay Horford, so you got to give up these picks for this old shooter. But like they haven't really subtracted over there. So I'm not going to say Philly's a loser. There's kind of a lot of people that just stayed pat.
Boston. Like Boston, they lost Cantor. Like I don't know if this year's Boston team.
They picked up Tristan Thompson though. That's actually better for them.
I don't know. So I don't know if they essentially lost.
I think Tristan Thompson's better for them.
They like to go smaller and rebound and up and down. I think Tristan probably feels that better than Cantor.
Tatum was probably happy when he seen that. Like, oh, a guy that doesn't need the ball. All right, dude, get it off the rim then, because I'm going to shoot it.
Yeah, Tristan's one of the best offensive rebounders in the game. Anyway.
Dellavedova got signed. Oh, he's turned into the Cavs. I'm just reading through anything that's worthwhile.
So I don't know. It's not like one of those off seasons where like there's been major subtractions until Houston. If Houston ends up making the move, I will say Houston's a loser. Like that's kind of on the back burner when they finally make that move. They're obviously a loser to me. I don't like. Here's a question.
Probably Stein went back to the Mavs as well.
Can Sam Presti be going too hard with the picks? Like at some point,
no.
Like
yes, but at this point, go full throw.
I don't think so. I think like if you're
not yet.
Like I don't think so. Like I think as long as like if you're responsible with them and like you're picking and moving them well for like and building well, then I don't think you could because like I mentioned earlier, Sam Presti is playing a different game.
He has the track record.
Like when you're in Oklahoma City, you have to play a completely different game than a big market. Like you have to stack your deck. So like when you have that opportunity, like so then you draft right and you got this young crop of talent who's making a push and you actually have that small window to win a championship before guys are going to leave. Okay, I have all these assets and picks in my bag. I can go make that trade for James Harden and give Houston. James Harden wants out. Okay, I'll take him for one season to help win a championship real quick. And I trade all my picks and hope that he can, the end of his contract.
It's the Billy Bean shit.
Like he's playing a different game. Whereas like the Nets are like, well, I can trade for him whenever because you can come live in New York and your stock will go up and we can pay you all this money because we're a big market. Like he's playing a different game. So like, I literally do not even know if it's possible to have too many assets in Oklahoma City.
I thought of it.
That's a great point.
Okay, so then let me play devil's advocate. I had this conversation with someone. Presti's been there how long? 7, 8 years, probably,
We'll call it that.
roughly.
Mhm.
He's on another 8-year plan. We'd say right now he's probably on like a 6, 7, 8-year plan right now. He's been there 8 years and hasn't really anything to show for it. Been through what they haven't won. Nothing really big, Jake. They haven't really won anything
They
big.
went to a finals and a couple Western finals.
Haven't
So
really won
unless you win
anything
a
big.
title, is what you're saying?
I'm saying, is he going to be able to see this next journey that he's created, or enough
his
to
next
see it
8
through to the
years-
championship, or does he get like run out because they haven't won? That's
I
the
don't
only
think
thing I
you
was
have to
questioning.
win a championship in
If his
Oklahoma
next
City.
8 years is like his previous 8 years, it's completely successful. To yell
Okay.
into the mic real quick
Okay.
like you did.
Thank you. I agree.
I just
1000%
thought that. I was like, is he going to be there long enough to see it through? If he's ended up, if in the middle of it, it's been 13, 14 years, no title. You know, I'm
Sam-
curious how the fan base over there works. Just
Sam
curious.
Presti and like Elton Brand work on two completely different goals, like systems. Like
Just gonna say,
Elton Brand, Philadelphia, way bigger market, way more crucial. Like they have the fan base is way more like they post.
That's a team that don't know what they're doing.
I agree, they don't know what they're doing. Like he has to make like finals in that and really be working towards something. Otherwise, yeah, you get beat up and you're gone somewhere like there. But like if you're Oklahoma City and you're continuously competing like they did last year in like seasons where you're not supposed to be good, you're overachieving, and then you're hitting, Western semis and Western finals, and every 10 years you get a finals appearance, you're good. I think you're doing your job there.
when was the last time they were in the Western
Whoa.
Finals?
Right before KD left, I think.
Did you guys know Brian
Feels like a
Forbes
long time
went to
ago.
Brian Forbes is the Bucks.
That's a big signing. It's a fantastic shooter.
Feels like a long time ago, Jake.
I mean, it was, but it's still like they still compete.
Okay, that's all I said. I said I don't know. He may have set up too long term of a plan to see it through. Essentially, that's all I thought.
Absolutely not.
That's-
I think
that's a possibility.
You make it sound like he has a hot seat right now, and I think his seat is
Not
so
yet.
cold as
No,
hell.
not right now. But I'm saying if this is a 6-year plan, like what happens in 5 years if they still haven't won shit? That's like 12 years. They haven't
Nothing.
won
If
nothing.
it's 5 years is like the last 5 years, nothing. He's having a successful
And what is
stint
not winning
over there.
shit? Like what is not winning
The
shit?
championship, not being, or at least being in the run for it. You tell me he hasn't been in the run for it since KD left. KD's on his second team since then.
No, that's not what I said. You said when was the last time they made a Western Finals? You don't think they were in a run for it when they had the PG team that lost in the Western semis?
Yeah. Okay.
That dude
was a good-
flipped it to
it
get
was a good move.
Oladipo. Like he's keeping that team honestly.
Okay.
He's keeping a
Always
franchise in the middle of the country where there's
So he
not
sees
a lot
this
of
plan through.
gravity. I think so 100%. I just
Okay,
like
cool.
If he don't, they're stupid. Like
Yeah.
that dude is.
I thought it was a
he's,
possibility.
he's one of the
Crossed
top
my mind.
GMs in the league. If
if
not
you
the
lose
top.
Sam Presti, it's like a head coach thing. Like, who are you getting that's so much better than Sam Presti to me? That's going to be able to wheel and
the
deal and
A's
make
lost
these
Billy
moves.
B 10 years ago. Do the A's have any success like they have had? No.
Yeah, I don't exactly, Terrence. I don't think it's like that.
Okay, cool. That's all I thought about with the Thunder thing. I had a good conversation with. Thought to bring it to you guys. I was like, it's a
So,
long-term plan.
Terrence brought up that Ingram got signed, and I wanted to ask this. There was all the rookie extensions. 5 guys got extensions off their rookie contracts so far this offseason. And out of these 5, I want you guys to tell me which guy are you most likely to pay and which guy are you least likely to pay out of the 5 rookie extensions. De'Aaron Fox, Donovan Mitchell, Brandon Ingram, Jason Tatum, and Bam Adebayo.
Which should I go first?
Whichever you feel, my son.
I think least likely to pay. I'm stuck between Mitchell or Fox.
Interesting.
Initial instinct, knee-jerk reaction was Fox, but I love a point guard in this league. So I think Mitchell, I would least like to pay out of that bunch. What's interesting is if you would have asked me this question 2 years ago, it would have been no doubt I wouldn't have paid Brandon Ingram, and I've completely left that.
Interesting.
Most likely to pay for me, Jason Tatum. I think he's the best
think we
player on
can
this
all-
group.
I think we can all
I
agree on
feel
that.
like we might all say that. Terrence, maybe not. I know he likes Bam. I know he likes his bigs. I don't know where he's going to go with this. But that's I don't know. That's me. I think Mitchell, he was so good in the playoffs. He had such a battle with Jamal. It's so tough to answer this question. I would say Mitchell. I think he's, I guess, lowest ceiling of anybody on here because I love my guards. So I like point guards. So I want I would pay Fox before I pay him.
My pick is Fox. I'm not paying Fox. The
Ooh.
people I am paying are Tatum and Ingram for sure. In today's basketball, everybody's a point guard. It's almost like quarterbacks now. That position has developed and evolved so much that you will find another one at a high level, most likely, if you have any good scouting department. Because if you look at the players that are coming out recently, all these guys are guards. So all the top players come out all the time now are usually guards. So you can find another top guard if it really is that case. It's hard to find guys who are 6'9", who could play both sides of the ball and can actually impact the game like that and have that actual ability and body frame to be able to play multiple positions like Bam can play, or like Tatum and Ingram. So that's why I would pay those guys, because some things literally are God-given abilities or just however you view it, genetics. So like those guys are born that way. You could find another 6'2" fast guard who can create shots and make shots, in my opinion, especially in today's basketball.
See, I think I'm for sure paying Jason Tatum. Bang. That was a no-brainer to me.
Yeah,
I
same.
kind of like lean on the fence, like maybe De'Aaron Fox.
But I understand Mitchell too, though.
Maybe Brandon
For the
Ingram.
same
I'm not
reason,
gonna lie, I don't pay. I feel like sometimes, like if Brandon Ingram is the focal point of my offense, that offense could get super stagnant. Like he's like a ball stopper. It gets to him and it kind of hangs right there on that elbowy wing area. And I don't know if he's the kind of guy I want to do that.
You
all
said
the
the same
time.
with Tatum, though. Tatum dribbles the shit out the ball. Tatum's ISO.
But
dribble.
I'm down with Jason Tatum. I think his athleticism and his shot, like making, like creative shot making ability, to me is better than Ingram's in a way where like I am down for the ball to stick with on you a little bit. Whereas Ingram, I don't agree with it as much, even though he's gonna prove me wrong a lot of the time and really get his and do stuff like that. Like I don't know.
Others involved.
Yeah. I just like, and I think Tatum, like athletically, I mean, Ingram's like, but I mean, it's not like KD got that same string beam frame and he's an elite.
Guys don't
defender.
look like those guys. I'm definitely paying him. Like,
Which
I
I
see
get,
guys on
I
the
get
street
that.
look like that.
I get that. But I kind of lean there. I'm for sure paying Donovan Mitchell. He's got the it that we talk about in a lot of sports. Like he has it where it's like just gets it done. I know his frame and some of his statistics physically aren't what you want, but like he has
the it though. That's a big thing to say. That's interesting.
Donovan Mitchell has it to me for sure. He proved it.
I think he did. Yeah.
The bubble with Jamal.
I don't think the bubble was enough for me to say he has the it.
I feel like that's the second
a
time
lot
I've
of
seen him on
guys
that
we could
stage,
say.
right?
I feel like we could say a lot of guys have the it then off of bubble performances then. So it's like I don't know, because like does Tyler Hero have the it? Does Duncan Robinson have the it?
Come on.
Like,
I as much as I love both those guys, they weren't putting up 50 for the whole series, 30, 40,
I understand
50
that,
like
but
that.
like,
I think it was two different
but he
levels
caught
of
fire in
competition.
a series though. Like I don't know. I get it. Donovan Mitchell had a fantastic bubble. Both rounds he had a fantastic.
I think there's a good case for both.
But and like I said with Fox, I do believe you can find
good point. I never thought about that.
Though.
How there is like a consistent amount of guards coming out. Like I see that when you said it, I was like, I totally see that.
You can find guards. It's hard to find. This is why I always tell you guys why I like Brandon Ingram so much. It is so hard. You do not find guys that look like that are 6'10", arms dragging on the damn floor, can put the ball on the ground and actually can move his feet and play multiple positions. That's rare. You can find a guy that's like, pass me the ball, coach, I'm 6'3". Put the ball in the hoop. That's fucking everybody in America. You can find that guy. It's hard to find a 6'9" guy, the 6'8" guy who can play multiple positions, who's crazy athletic, can do all of that. It's hard. That's why Jason Tatum is a phenomenal player. Jaylen Brown and all those guys. That's why the three has always been the main position in basketball. The most
wings.
dominant position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
twos and threes. Like the difference maker on your team for sure.
It's a point guard league, though. Don't get me wrong, but it's still harder to find those guys.
I thought Tatum, Mitchell, and Adebayo were all like acceptable for guys I would pay first. Like if you said any one of those three, I would have been like, for sure, without
not paying
a doubt.
Bam first, but I love him.
Yeah, I'm definitely
not.
Based
off that question, I can't pay Bam first. Tatum and Ingram just are the better players because I feel like I could use them I could play both of those guys at the four confidently. Ingram maybe not as much because he's skinny. But I would need a big ass big. Like if I played him, like the Pelicans right now, even though they have Zion, but you could run Ingram and Steven Adams together confidently now.
Absolutely.
At that 5'4", because Steven Adams is a monster down there.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can do that. But you don't have to because you have also another baby monster in Zion. Oh God, it's over there. But I don't know how that's gonna work though, because neither one can shoot the ball like that unless Zion's coming back with a jumper, which
I want to see what's in his bag.
I wouldn't be surprised if that dude comes back shooting a lot better than he did. I'm not saying
like at least some middies.
Yeah, like he'll be a better shooter than probably what he is. But
turns into Zebo.
Who knows?
No.
But I was watching, like, I was reading something and I seen some more highlights of him. People are very high on Duncan Robinson, like crazy high on this guy.
I mean,
like,
he got the yopper.
But like
Yopper.
all-star level type guy. Like, I don't know if he's that good, but
I don't know if he'll be
he
able
can
to
shoot
play
the hell out of the ball.
Clay level shooter out the 2 position with the one dribble moves and stuff like that level stuff or what?
I don't see that though. Like that's
Right.
what I'm
But
saying.
is that the talk? Is that what you're telling me? Like people are saying
that's
that's a
what I'm
possible
seeing.
ceiling?
And it's like I see, exactly. And I see him more as like a bigger JJ Redick. Like this dude
somewhere in
shoots
between
a lot of
JJ and
shots
Clay.
coming off
Like,
screens. Well, it's like so does Clay. I don't know. You ain't Clay because Clay's lockdown. Like Clay is a crazy defender, and I'm so sad to hear about Clay's news. Like, and I believe Stu. Did you hear Stats interview? And he was like he cried when he heard about it and everything. Him and Clay talking about it.
Steph for sure cried.
Believe. I for sure 1000% believe that happened. That had to be a sad ass conversation. Y'all amped up for the season, but it's the draft night. The draft night, like we about to get Wiseman. Hey, what's up, Clay? Huh? It had to be like the Usher phone call, like the confession. Stop playing right now. What?
Hold on. We'll be right there.
Exactly. Like that shit was sad, man. So. But looking through all the deals, I haven't really seen anything else worthwhile. JaMychal Green is a Nugget, so he is
so bummed about that. That was such a huge loss for the Clippers.
But the Bucks, man, they signed a lot of guards. Like they got my boy DJ Augustine. Everybody, if they listen to the pod, they know I've emphasized the Clippers getting that, brothers.
They listen to the pod.
Like, man, I'm damn near DJ Augustine fan club. As much as I said that man's name.
Yeah, the only thing I would worry about with someone like Augustine is like when the playoffs come, he can't play any defense for you.
64 mil though. Before we get off this for Marcus, you like
How
it?
much? 64? Yeah.
4 for 64.
He's making 16 a year.
Yeah.
Average, easy, light work money, like
deserved.
You be quiet.
He was incredibly consistent for us in the playoffs. Like we talk all the time like guys that didn't perform in the playoffs and this, that, the other. Like to me, Marcus Morris was like a guy that 1000% performed at or above ability.
He lived up to his
hype.
Tough guy. I don't fucking care. I'm gonna just hoop. Like he definitely lived up to that, and I like that. Like that's my type of guy though. Like I like that type of guy. Like I need that. But that's a lot for a guy.
He hit shots that were given to him in the corner. He hit shots off the dribble. He attacked the basket. He played good defense. With Ibaka, I think with Ibaka, his numbers aren't gonna be ecstatic.
No, I'm not reading it. I'm talking about other. No, keep going. I'm sorry. I was gonna read out other.
I was saying I think he won't have to play as big either. Like we played him a lot at the 4 against some bigger guys. I think you'll see him a lot more like at the 3-ish, like against kind of guys more his size, which I think is going to benefit him a lot with the Ibaka addition. Is all I was saying.
No, I feel you. I was just going to read a few other deals out that were big numbers. But here's a player that I want to have mind for the Clippers real quick. Garrett Temple, 1 year, $5 million. I want to have mind for the Clippers.
Shooter. I always like a shooter.
Here's another. I just like it because he's versatile defender. But 4 years, 75 for Joe Harris.
That's a lot of money for Joe Harris to me. That's a lot of money. That's
shit out the ball.
He getting paid more than Marcus. He getting 10 mil more than Marcus, 11 mil more than Marcus.
That's was it a 1 more year deal though? Was it 4 or 5? What did I say? 4 years.
You said 4. Same. That's what Marcus was, right? 4 for 64, and he got 4 for 75.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, what would you rather pay? Would you rather pay Joe or Marcus? Like, I'm rather paying Marcus.
That question's so hard too. It's all team need, you know.
No, hey, it's Joe Harris, Zachary.
Joe is nice. Hey, what up, Chance? You got something to say, bro? We heard you. You got something to say, bro?
You said Joe Harris is worth the cash. It's all about shooters. So shoot it, get it out the net basketball.
It's a shoot it league, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Damn, I'm done. Now I want my animal to come make a guest appearance.
Here's another deal. 5 years, 80 mil, Davis Bertans.
Yeah.
And
that boy can shoot the shit out the ball, though.
And he's
like
shooting
7
big.
foot.
I like shoot Bertans. It, grab it out the net league. Like
here's another one. Malik Beasley, 4 year, 60 mil to stay in Minnesota.
Beasley gets the same contract as Marcus Morris? I feel like we got Marcus Morris at a bargain listening to
he
all these
averaged 20. This is so stupid, though. Beasley averaged 20.7 points in 14 games with the team was after being acquired from Denver. So he put up a dub for 2 weeks, and it was like, oh my god, throw the
60
bag at him.
mil.
If I'm Malik, I'm like, yeah, boy.
Good looks, agent. My agent pulled that off.
Like,
Go
that's
back to your
crazy.
winners and losers. Minnesota's a loser, dude.
Man, for doing that, that's
Drafted
actually
Anthony
crazy.
Edwards over LaMelo and
I
let
don't know
James
about that,
Johnson
but
walk, and now you sign this dude for 60 mil.
Eh,
Yeah,
I
we
would
could.
let James
I'll throw
Johnson.
Minnesota on one of my
what
losers.
did James sign for? James Johnson. What was his deal?
It was
I
like
gotta
a low end deal, nothing crazy.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Rodney
remember the
Hood,
exact numbers.
2-year 21. That's nothing crazy.
That's solid.
Here's one more. 3-year 61.5 Danilo Gallinari to the Hawks.
It's a lot
I like
of money
it,
for
but
the
that's a lot.
Hawks. But 20 mil a year for Galley's a lot on your cap. But I mean, I don't know what I think about the Hawks. We were saying earlier, like they almost did too much. You almost went too crazy in there.
Well, if Sacramento matches Bogdan's contract, it kind of clears up things a little bit. But at the same time, if Bogdan goes there, that's also really nice. But
I don't know.
I don't
right?
know if
Like,
it's too much.
You just don't know.
more the merrier. Hop on. Here's another one though. 4-year 52 mil Jordan Clarkson, Utah Jazz.
Huge.
I think
huge.
good, and I think it's like it is a lot of money, but I think he'll produce to
Desperate need for them.
That
When
dude
he
can
came,
score.
when he came over, he played half as many games as anybody on that bench and had like more bench points than the entire bench on the year combined. Something crazy like that.
Dang.
Absolute desperate need for them. Needed it. Great job. One of the best
Just to
signings of the
solidify
offseason.
what Zach said, Clarkson averaged 15.6 in 42 games at the
Right
Jazz
off the
last
bench.
season.
That is
That's
like
tough,
if you're
dude.
coming off
That's
the bench,
starter numbers.
you're getting 6 man of the year votes for sure. You do that for the full season.
Yeah, I would like to see what his assist, how many shots he's taking in.
I think he's gonna earn that contract. Like I think it's a lot of money, but I think it's earned and will be like he'll produce for it.
I always say too, like it's all need also plays a big figure in these contracts to me too. Like if you desperately need a guy for a stretch or a window of opportunity, like you might have to overpay a little bit. Like some sports agents are like they get it. A lot of them get it. Like they understand the position the
I
front
know you
office on
need
the
him.
other side's in too.
Who else
Exactly.
you gonna get as good as him for that position?
Who else do you know can shoot the ball as good as my guy right here? Like we need the extra 8 mil. Sorry, bud. Like, and the guy Elton Brand's on the other end. Like, damn. I need a shooter. Doc loves old shooters. Like,
quickly thoughts on. Well, here's another one too. KCP 3-year 40 mil.
It was so big for them.
Where'd
to get
that
back.
money come from? Lakers
Getting
are
rid of
Clutch.
I love it.
Getting rid of fucking Danny Green's contract.
Facts.
letting Clutch could
They're not even in the Los
persuade
Angeles
Trez
Lakers.
to think he's worth 9 mil.
Man, that's what was shocked me the most. They got that dude for under 10. Like, Trez, what's up with you, dog? Know your worth.
They're the Clutch
Rich
Sports
Paul.
Lakers of Los Angeles. They're not even the Los Angeles Lakers. That's what they are. They're the Clutch.
I don't
Sports.
get why Trez would sell out for a title though. Like, not sell out. Let me not say that. Like, why would he pick a title over going for a bag? Like,
I mean,
I'd rather
it's-
sign in fucking wherever that was offering me 20 mil.
It
He's young.
I think
sounds
Trez
like
could
the
have got close to
market.
20.
It sounds like the market for Trez was kind of bare. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's ugly. That playoffs killed him. He want to see Doc's hands.
If I was gonna say if Doc just leaves him on the bench, he probably goes somewhere and gets like 15 mil at least.
He was
If
getting
Doc
dogged out
if
there.
Doc just keeps him on the bench and he ends up going to the Western Finals and whatever like that as your resume, and it's not that you guys lost because fucking Joker.
They
was-
signed him on the same deal.
cooking.
Surge 2-year 19. It's literally the same deal.
Right. If you're the Clippers right now, you're looking at this as a crazy win. Would I rather have Landry Shamet and Montrezl Harrell or Luke Kennard and Serge Ibaka? Luke Kennard and Serge Ibaka every time. Every
I would
time,
agree
bruh.
with
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
then, well, how do you feel about Bogdanovich 4-year 72?
To the Hawks.
Worth it. Worth it. I mean, they have a
I
ton
like
of
him a
signings,
lot.
like you guys said, but I like
They
it.
have a lot of money as well.
I think
And
that guy
then,
actually has a potential because he's still so young. Like that's a big bag for him. If he plays well on those 4 years, his next bag can be like 100 mil too. Like he might end up making a ton of money in the league getting this bag
That'd
early
be
like that.
crazy. And then lastly, I just wanted to bring up Warriors. How do we feel about them? The Kelly Oubre getting Wiseman. They picked up Wanamaker, Kent Bazemore.
Like Wanamaker.
I still feel the same as I did about like on Thursday when we did it. I feel like they're a like 7 to 11 team in the West.
Like a French team.
Very fringe.
5 to 8.
I'm putting them with like Memphis, New Orleans, San Antonio. Like that's all a class fighting for a couple playoff spots right there.
I think they're like a 5 to 10 team because that's how wild the West is.
The West is
I think
crazy.
that's fair.
I think your locks for Western playoffs: 2 LA teams,
Dallas.
Denver, Dallas, Portland. That's 5 right there. I think those are all like locks. Phoenix, there's 6. We got 2 playoff spots left, and you're telling me like, yeah, for sure, Golden State, Zach. No way.
And as much as I love Phoenix, it's like shit. Are they for sure as well? Because the West is so tough.
Your Honor, I'd like to retract my
ball's
statement
crazy.
from last time we were in session.
You told me literally I was crazy to think that.
Just kidding. No, it's Steph Curry, dude. He's put some respect on the man's name. He's a top 5 player in this game. Those guys win games. This is a ball-dominated sport, dude.
He's
With
about
one of
to
the
be
best
motivated.
coaches over there.
Pretty
Motivated. MVP guy, dude. A unanimous MVP. I have full
Oh,
faith
there's one more good
Steph
one.
can win 45 games and take him to the 8th seed. Like, full confidence in him.
Sarge, 3 years, 27. That's what, 9 a year?
You know,
Yeah,
9 a year, and that's a bargain. Nah, it's fair. It's fair.
right
It's
on
fair.
fair.
That's
It's
a lot
fair.
kind of for him, but if he's knocking down shots, it's worth
The
it.
book's gone up, man. They're saying a lot of money for these guys these days. Like, the books have gone
Oh
up.
yeah, no,
9
definitely the books have gone up. But then it's weird though, because then you see a guy like Austin Rivers signed 3 years, 10 million. It's like what? The-
I think he's like worth way more than that.
I definitely thought Rivers was worth more than that, and I'm not even a Rivers guy, but I was very surprised that he signed that low. But it was crazy that Memphis re-signed D'Anthony Milton 4 years, 35. But I'm a big Milton fan.
He was
got
hooping.
straps.
He earned it.
Man, clapped the shit.
You're
Wasn't that
defending.
us he clapped the shit out of on like a ABC game?
Mm-hmm.
Hit us for like 35.
Yeah.
All right, we good with the hardwood, man. That was a lot of transactions.
Been going crazy.
Man, that was good though. That was good. Missed basketball.
Training camp starts in a week.
Ooh. All right. On to the gridiron, as always. Before we transition over, podcast brought to you by 5starvintage.com. All your best vintage retro needs, shirts, jerseys, cool little item knickknack stuff, all that cool shit. 5starvintage.com. Go on there, 15% off your next order. Other team, all one word. Go ahead and put that in there and 15% off your next order. 5starvintage.com. Shout out Steve, a visitor of the show and an avid listener. So what's up, buddy? On to the gridiron. 2 great primetime games. We've had 2. This doesn't always happen. Monday night's kind of been a shit show in recent years.
Yeah, Monday
as
night
far
is
as
just
scheduling.
like it's hit and miss because
It's hit and
there's
miss
always
now.
a couple
I feel like
good
the
ones.
slate's getting better.
This year,
I'm
that's
not
been
gonna
pretty
lie.
good. I won't lie. This year's been pretty good.
Actually,
But there's
it
always,
sucks.
yeah,
Yeah.
usually last couple of years it's been like 3, 4 good ones, and the other ones are kind of iffy. But it's actually been really good this year.
So 2 great primetime games. Sunday night rematch, Raiders Chiefs. Raiders with the big upset. First time they played in Kansas City. Sunday night in Allegiant. Great game. Oh my gosh, a fun game to watch.
One of the better football games we've seen this year, for
Chiefs
sure.
come down. Pat Mahomes so easy on the 2-minute drill to win the game. It looks so goddamn easy. Chiefs
Yeah,
win a
that dude's
tight,
too good at football. It's crazy.
bro. Chiefs win a tight one though. No moral victories in these things, but Raiders are a good team. I'll say that Raiders are a good team.
Yeah,
Definitely a good team.
that's where I would lead. The first thing I would say when I got done with that game was I thought professional football is way too easy for Patrick Mahomes. He should have played baseball because this shit is easy. He's got to be bored out there. I mean, he is like
it's easy.
because like the Raiders battled and like teams were
Battled.
they were punching each other back and forth in that game, and like I was like, okay, Derek Carr, I slandered you and I disrespected you for sure. You're playing so well right now. And then, like, you look at the clock, and it was like, I don't even know, like a minute 50. It seemed like he did it all in 38 seconds. And then it was like, hike, four plays later, bing, bang, gongo.
Because
Get on
that
out of here.
pick card through was just like, it ain't. I didn't even care he threw the pick. The game was over.
It was over. You
had to force it
Patrick
down the field.
Mahomes scored that touchdown to Travis Kelce, and you were just like, well, boop.
Curtains. He's like what Rodgers was. The mystique of Rodgers, but better. Like
Yeah.
which is
crazy.
crazy to
Which
think
is
about,
crazy.
considering how fucking good at football Aaron Rodgers is.
Exactly. And it's like, Aaron Rodgers, we fear you, but man, we fear that man more. Like, it used to always be, don't let Rodgers have the ball last. But like,
Yeah. Rodgers and Tom Brady was always thing. Don't let either of them have it with the 2 minutes. And it's like
you can't even let Mahomes have the ball for like 45 seconds. Or
45 seconds with one timeout. I'm like, fuck,
did that
this
as
is
well.
tough. That's tough.
We scored too fast. That's how you feel. If there's 45 seconds left and one timeout and you haven't even kicked it off yet, Full could have 90 yards to go. You're like, shit, we
Just
scored
saying,
too
it's
fast.
only 2 quarterbacks in the league winning games for their teams under a minute. It's Mahomes and Stafford. But
No, but get
we
this
just
man
did
out of here.
it 2 weeks ago. We did it 2 weeks ago. Shut up. Leave me alone.
That's fine.
don't-
You may be.
Shut up. Leave me
but
alone.
you're
Leave me
not the
alone.
only
Well,
two.
I don't want to hear it. Whatever. I don't want to hear it. I said what I said.
Yeah.
Mahomes is crazy good though, dude. It's
Yeah.
wild how good that guy is. No, you don't. You don't get to mute me. I'll mute myself one day.
No, I don't have that function yet. One day we'll get it. I'm gonna start.
that function?
When COVID's over and we all get to.
Oh, that function, huh? Oh, you guys didn't know about that function. The function you want to mute me? Yeah. now I'm on a pod by myself. So now we get to talk about the Lions.
This man is drunk. He's drunk with power.
Drunk with power right now. I can't wait till we're all recording in the same room again and I'm in control of the fucking mic mixer and I can just tear it right there and turn it off.
Good, gotta get a whole new cord now because Zach just had an impulse.
Not even just turn it down, just rip the cord out of the goddamn mixer. On the other game, last night's game, Monday Night Football, great game as well. Shootout
Really good game.
in Florida. Brady and Bucks against Goff. Wow, just
Tom Brady sucks. Like, man, it's crazy.
I'm not hearing it.
Like,
I can't even.
Twitter is wild. He sucks. He's a horrible guy. Like, he stinks. Even though he
So
should shake
washed
hands,
up and done. I'm like,
the handshake thing does not matter, but it does look like a piece of shit. But it doesn't matter at all.
he's Tom's a sore loser.
He's a horribly sore loser.
So what? I don't like lose either, but it looks
Me neither.
stupid. But like, it doesn't
That's how I
matter.
feel like. Fuck it. But he is a sore loser. But it's like, fuck
Yeah.
it. Who cares?
It just looked funny though, because Goff was walking around like, "Where's Tom? Where's Tom? Like,
Where's my hero? I beat him. Where's my hero?
Where's my hero? I just want to say thank you and it's an honor." Brady's like, "Fuck you, kid."
Fuck you, yeah.
Mr. Brady, it was so fun to go to battle. I mean, I
Fuck
really
off, kid.
fuck off, kid.
Piss off, kid.
Oh, man.
Brady's for sure that guy that would kill your hopes and dreams if he was a young kid that loved him. I definitely think he'd be like, "Yeah, shut up."
Walk right past your fucking autograph, kid, and not give a fuck.
This
Only
is
when,
all,
like on the field though, like when the cameras are around, Brady's all perfect. But when on the field, he's like, "Fuck you, dude!" Like, absolutely.
one thing I thought immediately after the game when the Rams won was, damn, NFC West again. Like we're constantly talking about how good this
Damn you,
every
Jacob.
week. One of those three teams has such a big, great win every week. It's so crazy to me.
Who's the worst in the division?
Niners.
Niners, but of the three monsters,
Yeah, the three. That's
of
what
the
I mean.
three, of the three,
Niners.
right? Yeah, I was gonna say that's common knowledge.
Seahawks? But I don't even know.
I think the Cardinals are secretly the
I
worst of
gotta
the three.
go Cardinals.
No
I
way.
I think they are. I think they are.
To how I watched them, even though they've been running the football well, but I still don't think they can run the football against a good team, like a good
Okay.
defense.
See, to me, I thought it came down to like the combination of quarterback and coaching play. Like, I still don't entirely trust it there yet. Still, like McVay is the difference maker. His ability with the run game and Goff, they've like it's solidified there. And obviously Pete and Russ, like I trust that so much that if I'm going to battle in a football game, which is
They've
a
been
series,
scaling it
it's
back in
always
Seattle,
one
though.
time. Absolutely, but still, like if we're talking one game and who I think is gonna like Cardinals, I think Cardinals are
for
probably, it's
Here's
tough.
my
It's
thing,
so
too.
tough.
Here's what's and because I've been kind of downplaying the Rams a lot this year, but here's like the difference maker on the Rams is like McVay's that coach that always has his team prepared. That was their third East Coast trip, second different trip to Florida this year, and like they fired on all cylinders and they lost to the Dolphins, but it was a good game, I believe. Like,
Well, that was like their worst
No, didn't they
offensive game of
get
the
blown
season.
out?
oh, they got blown
Yeah,
out.
yeah, that was the one. That was the one where McVay was like cursing in the post game. Tua's first game. Remember,
Oh,
Tua
okay,
had
okay.
like
I was
60
thinking-
yards and they put
I
up
was
like
thinking
30.
it was the Tua. I thought it was the close Tua win. I'm sorry. I'm getting 2 games
No.
mixed up. But regardless, there's still your third trip over there. Like, that was supposed to be the game you get blown out. Third trip to the East Coast, second trip to Florida, completely prepared and like fucking nailed it. There was a crazy stat. I think he's only lost twice on the East Coast since he's been with the Rams, which is a crazy stat.
He plays well on primetime a lot too, man. Let me be the
32
first to tell you.
32.
How do you
0.
find a coach like that? Asking for a friend.
Me too. Let me know if you find one, dude. I'll hook you up
Alright.
too. I'm like, fuck.
Hey, I'm not asking for me. I'm just asking for a friend, man. Just asking for a friend.
I'm asking for me, and I know the homie needs one too. Like,
We all could use one of those. I'm not gonna lie. This whole podcast, favorite football team, could use a coach like that. I'll tell you right now.
Oh god,
for
we
sure.
can all use new coaches. That's what's crazy. Even though
golly.
you might have the best coach, Zach, but I'm not sure of Nagy.
I don't
I'm
know
not
if he's-
sure.
I don't know anymore
trust
either.
Matt Nagy at all anymore as a coach. I think
Nagy
he's a
might be
coordinator.
quarterback. Exactly, he might be a coordinator because he does need a quarterback. A head coach can adapt.
I know y'all see me popping off when we smoked the game last week, and I said, "How the fuck we got the only piece of shit off the Andy Reid disciple tree?" Like, I was mad. I'm like, "This is some bullshit." Like, I was so mad, dude. I popped
At least
off
you
on
didn't
Twitter. when we
fall
lost
for the
that game.
Patriots Bulls goal. Only Bill knows what he's going on over there. It's like he
Golly.
brainwashes everybody when they leave the building.
I was
It's
like, "You pull
thank
up
you
the
for playing
Andy
for the Patriots, and now you just forgot everything you learned. You just forgot
Hit him with the
every
Men in
fucking
Black.
thing exactly. You just forgot
Oh
every
my
fucking thing you learned
God.
from the fucking Patriots. Like,
Fool hit him with that and then told him some wild shit that they do in Men in Black. He was like, blitz every time on third down, no matter the distance.
man
Like,
coverage all game, dude. If
One
they're
on
running
one
drag
against-
routes,
don't
who
even
cares?
matter.
Chase,
Sure.
just run in, chase. All I see is my guy just chasing people. It's like zone. God damn it,
Man.
it's stupid.
That
Oh,
fool,
God, I hate
yeah.
it.
That's your final meeting with Belichick, like that final handshake. You go over and he just boom, and then just
Yeah, right
hits
when
you
you
with,
try to walk
"Don't
away."
establish a run game in Detroit," and he's like, "Okay," and just walks away. Like,
He does it to all of them. Every coach that left his team, he
Josh
just brainwashed
McDaniels
him.
went to Denver and he was like, "Trust Kyle Orton." He's like, "Okay," and like walked away.
Yeah, that's crazy. He had to like reteach McDaniels and everything. Like,
Yeah,
give him his memory back. Like, how that work? How
separate
does that work?
device. Separate device.
A different flash. That's it. Well, shoot it to Patricia then, damn it. Right
Man,
before the game.
Not
it's
happening.
tough.
It's
in,
not. I hope
in
he-
good football
Black
news for
Friday.
me,
Could be good.
I'm thinking Mitchie's coming back, dude. I'm thinking my boy
Is there
Mitchie.
rumors of
I
that?
think-
Or
Wildcat.
something?
A lot of Bears media Twitter is saying we haven't made the decision yet. It's still saying Foles. They're both like working back from injury. Trubisky is rumored around Hallis Hall to be more healthy, right shoulder improving, and I don't know. A lot of people are thinking it's going to be Mitch on Sunday night against the Pack.
Hear me out. AR-15, take the snap.
Will you stop? It's AR-12 now, and no.
Well, change it to 15 for the game, then he'll be the quarterback. That is right. He has 12. Damn it! Why did he give up his great name? Yeah,
I know.
Get that back.
Man, so I think that's a headline to look forward to revisit next week. Will probably be if that happens. That'll be lit.
I love Mitch football. I'm always down to talk Mitch football.
It's a ride.
That dude is an interesting fellow on the field, man. Like,
Man, that one's always a ride. I'll tell you that much. That one's crazy.
as long as he ain't playing my Lions, because he's fucking like Steve Young when he plays us. But gets anybody else, that dude's a roller coaster.
End of the season, we're getting him back ready so we can make sure we get that Lions victory. He'll be ready to play against the Lions.
All right,
That's how we're
I'm
working.
ready for him to throw 300 against us. But
How bad did the Bengals fail Joe Burrow?
Okay, so I keep hearing that, and it's
they
like,
failed him. I don't hear anything you got to say, Zach, unless it's they failed him.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Zach. If you want to get it off, but I'm going to shut it down with what I'm gonna tell you.
They
Here,
failed
listen to
him.
this, Zach. Listen to this and tell me if you feel what you're going to say. Still feel the same. The Bengals statistically have a top 3 worst offensive line in the game, but also throw the ball like the 4th most in the league. You can't be doing that with a rookie quarterback. If you can't protect him, you can't be throwing the ball like this. That's all
so
I gotta
you
say.
want them to not throw the ball
as
Is what you're saying.
much.
I
You don't
want
have to
my
be the
coordinator to
4th
be
most.
smart with their line.
Yeah, like you don't have to have the 4th most throws when you're getting hit the fucking 3rd most.
I don't know. We said
We
it.
all loved
watching
Joey
it.
B
We
about to break
watched-
these rookie records. We all loved it.
Well,
we
yeah,
all
but
watched these
still-
games all year and was like, man, dude, Joe was getting hit. And we were just like, it's just, we was all knock on wood thinking like, man, it might be a time this dude needs a line. We literally said this to each other, talking about watching these games. Like,
They can't
and
make
then
one overnight.
That same,
But
exactly.
that's
Well,
why I'm
obviously,
saying
we
run
gotta
the ball
establish a run.
more.
that
and,
same
like,
fucking
just
game,
don't
Chase
get
Young
him-
smacked his ass in
Ooh.
that same game. Like they were failing that man. Like they were using him like he was Cam Newton. They wanted him to throw the ball up 40 times a game, but yet he's the only guy on the roster. Like, where's my help? Hand the
You're
ball.
not
off.
winning games anyways. You might as well keep Joe
Now
Burrow
you're really
around.
not winning games.
Yeah, you just set yourself back.
Like it was stupid. You failed him, Zach Taylor. You should be fired. Like
Oh no, I can't.
What were you gonna say?
That's
Zach?
not
Sorry.
Zach. Fire the
Go ahead.
GM then. Then fire the GM. I'm
You
saying you
too.
can't. You can't be mad at Zach
Build a
Taylor, the
line.
offensive coordinator,
I could be mad at the coordinator.
for
Maybe not Zach
having their number one overall pick quarterback throw the ball a lot. Like I think that's asinine to me. Like
I'm not, I don't.
I'm
if
not.
your
I don't
offensive
think at
line
all.
is
they're
so
not
bad,
winning games.
Baker
They're trailing
Mayfield
a
was the
lot.
number
They
one
need to
pick,
win.
and they don't throw the ball all the time. Baker Mayfield's literally the
Their
number one
run
pick.
game is a lot different. Their offensive line is a
Very
lot
true.
better. It's
Even
a lot
when-
different scheme over
Even
there.
his first year prior to all of this, Baker's first year, they were not throwing the ball that much. What number one pick throws the ball that much, Zach? Like literally, what number one quarterback
Herbert.
has
Was
came
it
into the league?
not successful though? Like Joe's
It
numbers were
wasn't.
good. It like
They were-
Joe was Joe was
threw, like,
passing the
12
ball
touchdowns.
well. Joe was passing. He had like
Yeah, but he's
fucking
getting
on
smacked
pace to
every
be
play.
to just demolish the rookie passing yards record. Like it was not a bad quarterback. So it's like if my quarterback's playing well, I'm going to continue to throw the fucking ball.
He was demolishing.
I'm sorry
the
you got
passing yards
injured.
record.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Like I'm sorry. I hate that he got his legs destroyed. Like I hate that shit in sports. But like I'm not firing my coach for calling passing plays for a great quarterback. I'm not doing that. Firing my GM. Firing my GM and my talent department for not finding the offensive lineman. I can do that. But I'm not mad at the coach or the play caller for letting Joe Burrow go to work when he's nice.
I don't know. I'm mad at everybody.
I know. I hate these because people are mad now. I get it. Like I understand. Like, got to be mad at somebody. I guess like, fuck. It's the number one guy. No one likes to see this. But yeah, that shit was tough. Any other gridiron headlines, guys?
My bad. I just have no-
Steelers still 10-0.
trying to phone in.
Well, yeah, Jake. They played your team. Did you want to talk about it?
I mean, we battled like we usually do against them, but
You guys really quit, dude.
wait, what are you talking about?
I mean, we really
The
bad.
Jacks, you guys really quit. Like you guys really quit. Like
We quit so
That dude
hard.
shouldn't be starting.
We almost beat the Packers last week.
he shouldn't. That dude shouldn't be starting. Minshew should still be your starting quarterback. You guys
He's
really
hurt. He
give
doesn't have a thumb.
lies.
He could
You guys
barely
gave the
grip a
season
football most of the year.
Wait, how do you do it? I can't
You've seen his thumb. They've shown them. You've seen them. Like they've shown this guy's hand. Because
I
all
mean,
the reports I've seen,
amputated.
that was full of shit. That the Jags were
Amputated.
literally trying to take the season.
Who said that?
That literally.
Where and who did you see that from?
This was off Yahoo Fantasy. This was off another fantasy website, and this was off of God, what was the other one? I don't know. But I
Brian
definitely seen it on Yahoo
Sexton,
Fantasy.
whatever, like the Jags reporter that I listened to and watched, Brian Sexton was like, this full Minshew's thumb's all fucked up, so it's Jake Luton. And then now that the season's, you're just getting him healthy. But I would not say the team gave up, considering like some of their better, even though their losses, some of their better performances against really good teams have been the last 3 weeks.
Football players never give up. The organization does.
Yeah, we might not be trying our
The
hardest
players
to
never
win
give
games
up.
right now, but like,
I don't think anybody on the Jets gave up. I think every single player on the Jets currently right now play hard because they have to. You are playing for your job.
I think
Those
the
guys
Jags
don't
just
give up.
wait, like,
The organization gives up.
I think the organization's just waiting kind of for the offseason and the draft. Like this season's not going well. Like I don't know what else they could be doing to signal something different.
Not bench your best quarterback.
I mean, he was hurt, so we just decided to go with this guy. Now we're 1-9. It's
Like I said,
let's see
the
what this
reports
guy's
I
got.
read, the dude wasn't hurt, and that they were
No, he
literally
was
just
the
saying.
first game Luton started. This fool was 1,000% hurt. They might have let it linger, like when he was able to come back, just still rode with them. But like that's what I'm saying. At that point, you're 1-6, 1-7. Let's see if this kid got something. You might have liked what you saw against the Packers. He played well that game. Fuck it, let's do it again. I don't know who's going to start next game now because he played so bad against Pittsburgh. Defense was actually wildly like okay, which was incredible considering that.
Who do you guys play next? Because Henderson's not playing, so
It's the Vikings, I believe. No,
no, I
that's
thought you were
next
playing
week.
a passing
That's next
team.
week. That's one more team. That's one more week. It's the
You're
Vikings.
playing a passing team.
This week we're going to be playing. Ooh,
Browns running team.
Browns. Super
I thought
running
you had a
team.
passing team. Yeah, that's a running team for sure.
So, but yeah, I think they're just. I think the like. I don't know if it was like a Jets complete throw in the towel thing. I think it was like, okay, clearly we're not winners. Minshew's hurt. Let's give Luton a look, you know. And then he played well the first two. He wasn't actually half bad. Packers game, he was actually really fucking good. So then you throw him out there one more week. You're like, hey, might have something. And then he was god awful against the Steelers. But I mean, that defense is so elite.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, well, fuck, I don't know what we're gonna do now. But you're looking at Trevor or Justin for the most part.
Real quick on Taysom Hill, what do you guys think about him?
I'm
He's surprisingly a lot better than I anticipated.
I mean,
Yeah,
I kind of feel like Sean Payton's over here like, I kind of made the right decision.
18 for 20, whatever, 280 and 2 tuds.
And like, I think if this injury happens like week 3 and you got Jameis, like you have to look for like possibly like a 10-week fix. Yeah, you probably go Jameis because I think it's like a better long-term situation. But like Sean Payton was like, I got a handful or less games to get by. Like, who's really going to be able to game plan this guy up so quickly?
What about now? Now there's a full game of footage on it.
We'll see. We'll definitely see. And now, you know, he's going into this game like this guy's been waiting in the wings for 3 or 4 years, knows the offense, whatever. Like going into it, I for sure thought like this is stupid. Should have been Jameis. What the fuck? But now I'm looking at it when it played out, and I'm like, well, shit, Sean, maybe you knew what the fuck you were doing.
Massive test. This next game's against Denver. Vic Fangio, lifelong defensive coach in this league. I was all over the Broncos this week in fantasy, as far as like betting purposes too. Same thing. Vic Fangio, rookie guy against, or a defensive coach against a rookie quarterback. I loved the matchup. You kind of get the similar feel here with the Broncos going to the Saints, and they're going to roll Taysom Hill out there again. And Vic and the staff have an entire week, an entire game of footage on it now. I think this is the real test on it, like a really big test on it. I don't know. I'm not completely sold, but I think he played well this past week. Game. Absolutely. I'm not completely sold.
But he played well. He definitely played well.
But he played well, exactly.
I thought he did good, like playing with, like he knew he was gonna have to throw a couple ducks. Like he didn't like go outside himself and try to make like these 25-yard throws in a window. That's not his game. Like he kind of just did Taysom Hill things and it worked.
What do you think?
Like I said, he played well, but I'm not sold on Taysom Hill. I tell you guys all the time, I don't think he's any good, but he played well. You can't knock what he did, but as far as him being sustainable, I don't think that's sustainable at all.
Right, that's why I said. I think if that injury happens and like the Drew Brees thing, like
he's a glorified Tebow.
And you got exactly. He's better than Tebow though to me.
Glorified, a little better. Yeah, he's like a little better.
He might be a little bit better athletically. I think Tebow might be
more versatile. Yeah.
To be honest, I think Tebow legit might be a better coach. I do with throwing some ducks.
Oh no,
I think his leash is probably so short too. Like if he has like a horrendous half, then maybe you go to Jameis. Like the first half is god awful next week, then you might throw Jameis in. Or if he has like a bad game, just in general, you might see Jameis the week after that.
But let's not forget, this was against Atlanta.
Right.
Atlanta's
I'm telling you, this Bronco shit is a test for this man. That team will be prepared for this bullshit.
Is it bullshit or is he just?
It's bullshit, Jake. It's bullshit. Like there's no way around it. He's a great coach. It's bullshit.
Played well. It looked okay.
Bullshit.
It's bullshit.
I thought it was bullshit going in, and I came out and I was like, "Well, fuck."
They deep fried it at this fair and it made it look good, but it's still bullshit. Like
I literally came out.
Deep fried bullshit.
I watched that shit. I came out and I was like this. Well, goddamn.
No, it's still bullshit.
Well, shit, Sean.
Nope. Nope. Not buying. Still not buying it after one game.
That's just what I thought. I'm sorry.
Alrighty. What about our side sports? Anyone got any side sports?
We talked a little bit on pre, but I'm gonna start just bringing this up during the whole Premier League season. I'm just gonna give the weekly update on all of our teams. I've just decided I'm going to do that since all of our teams are contenders. Terrence's Leicester City what are they? The Red Foxes, I think is what they go by. The Foxes.
Yeah, the
The
Foxes.
Foxes.
We're first place.
Okay, Idris.
You see me? You see me?
First place, and I
got
believe they
FIFA.
had to go to Anfield, but I want to double check. They're playing the Liverpool Reds, who are kind of the cream of the crop
Yeah,
of the
3-0.
Premier League these days, and they dropped the ball 3-0 L. Was it at Anvil? I want to make
Anvil.
sure.
It was at Anvil.
It was at Anvil. So they go
Anfield.
from first.
Anfield, not an anvil is
I said
something you
fell.
drop on someone's hell.
They go from
And-
first to
I mean,
fourth.
Acme.
Acme. Yeah.
Yeah, on the table.
Anfield is in England.
I get it.
Okay, cool. I can pull up a map. You want? Oh no, never mind. Go ahead.
Beep, beep.
My Chelsea
Here got
Blues
Wile E. Coyote.
also won today in Champions League. Big win against Newcastle, probably the best game they played all year. They are same amount of points as Terrence, so they're both third and fourth place, 18 points. Zach's
They
Manchester United. Hold up, let me scroll. Let me use my fucking thumb to scroll down the table to find you guys. 10th place, but only 5 points behind, so very much in the hunt. But I will say, when it comes to Premier League, they actually looked great in Champions League against a very weak Istanbul team today. But when it comes to Premier League football, Zach's Manchester United Red Devils are definitely not the team
Sort of
to
consistent.
be right now. They're
The
definitely
Red Devils.
yeah.
Man.
I will say I wanted to tell you this, Terrence. You know, you like the story behind your team, right? Kind of like underdog, scrappy. Usually got like young kids who are probably going to end up going somewhere else to play. Your coach is a little Doc Rivers-esque, where it's like he has. Yeah, I know, but that's why I had to break the news to you. Brendan Rodgers. So he's like, they won the Premier League that one year, so he's got kind of like a lot of praise behind him. But like he overcoaches in like every one of these big games, and he made like a couple of questionable moves going into that.
He's that guy.
Right.
They
So
win and die because of me.
he's like there's like when he just needs to like pull his hands off and let the team play, he gets too involved, and it's kind of like what happened this week a little bit. So I thought I'd give you the update. I might start giving Premier League updates when you ask this question every week, Zach, since all of our teams are pretty good.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, I was just gonna say, me and Terrence were texting Shevchenko fight and stuff this weekend. Pretty good card. Figueiredo handled. Wow, is Figueiredo good? I think
scariest flyweight ever.
Yes, I think the biggest surprise and most props for me almost of the night was Maya against Chevy. Like she really held her own and fought fairly well, like especially at the beginning of that fight.
She made
like,
Chevy have
damn.
to start sitting down on her punches. Like it was like, okay, I'm not gonna just win this fight. Hold on, I gotta actually hit this chick.
And Chevy had to lock
Yeah,
in.
that
Like
was
she
an
really
impressive
made
fight.
Chevy lock in. The bettors were so scared that when Maya took the second round, Chevy walked into the fight like minus 1,200, maybe as high as
Shit went
minus
to like 280,
2,000.
right?
Dude, I saw it as low as like minus 300 or 350 or minus 300 after it goes tied 1-1. Like Maya wasn't even winning the fight. Like Chevy still tied in the fight, and it dropped that high or that low on the live bet. So like that is a good gauge to also tell you like how serious a fighter was in the fight.
Yeah.
For it to drop like that instantly, she was like legitimately like showing Chevy some concern. I was impressed. I can't wait to see her next fight. I think it's like I said, there's no moral victories in this shit, but it's really something good to build on.
I disagree. That is the one sport that moral victories are in.
Okay,
You can go away. UFC, and I used to think no sport, and I still kind of feel that way. Like even with UFC to a certain extent, I do feel like it is no moral victories because like you just got your ass beat. So it's like
Right.
you can't just walk around and be like feeling fucking good about yourself. You got your face beat in, like so no. But at a certain extent, like you just fought the best fighter in the world and you held your own and didn't get your ass beat.
Right.
That is a moral victory.
And it's not
now
even
I
you fought
just
the
need to
best
clean-
fighter in the world.
clean up
Like
some things.
you walked in as a overwhelming underdog. Literally, the whole world thought you were going down. We
One of the
both
biggest
said
underdogs
this shit's
on the
not
card
getting out
ever.
of the first round. We walked in like she's gonna put her down in the first round. Good night. We're waiting for Figueiredo.
Yeah, I thought
and 30
the submission.
30 minutes later, we're like, damn, it went the distance. What a hell of a fight! Like,
It's crazy. And like I said, she literally made Chevy start sitting down on her punches and started throwing power shots. Like, wait a minute. Like, the fight got serious. And like you said, the betting lines changed. And you can tell, screw the betting lines, you can tell how Chevy started fighting that the fight was closer. That she really started throwing harder punches and was really more concerned with the fight. So that's the beauty of UFC. But it definitely has some sort of moral victories and a loss in that sport. But that's the only sport. I don't want to hear none of that sorry shit in basketball.
Yeah.
Our football.
The card coming up this week isn't entirely crazy, but just like the main event, real quick, we all love Derek Lewis. Who doesn't like Derek Lewis? Great soundbite always. Funniest dudes in UFC history.
What's his Instagram thing? He okay? If you guys ever see his, he's okay, man.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen that actually. I gotta check that out.
I'll send you. Yeah, just go to his Instagram and he'll post like people like major fails, like a guy like falling off a motorcycle, like really bad, and it'll just say like he's okay.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah.
So
he's the underdog going in.
Yeah, exactly. Like a square.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'll have to shoot you guys the link. I follow him on Instagram. He's hysterically funny.
He's the underdog coming in. On his way back. Blades. Yeah, Blades is the favorite. I think Blades is gonna get him too. I know you're not a big Blades guy. I think Blades is a solid fighter though. He's not weak to me. Got a weak ass haircut.
But he's not good at anything. He's not weak. Yeah. But he's not good at anything.
Yeah, you're right. He's not great at anything.
He's just a well-rounded fighter. Like he's just a well-rounded fighter. But Derek Lewis isn't the best fighter, but Derek Lewis can knock your ass out.
Knock your ass out. And Derek Lewis also has like that crazy gear where it's like
he's never tired.
He's never tired. Right. He always has enough in the tank to keep going. And unless you sleep him, he's really going to be a pest on you all night. Like so I like Blades, but I think it's going to be a good fight. I always like Lewis. I always like to see Lewis win. Hopefully he pulls off an upset or something, but interesting.
The only thing with Lewis is like
to tap in with that.
Lewis is interesting because he carries his power to the end of the rounds no matter what. Like he can go deep into the fifth, look wildly exhausted, look like this dude's about to pass out. And then I know it was some wild haymaker that still has a lot on it.
Snap one off on you.
And drops these guys. These guys are heavyweights. Like these are big guys still getting dropped. So for you to still be able to drop somebody in the fifth or late in the third round, dude, you're carrying power that big, that late into the round is scary shit. And that's not normal.
Yeah. Also want to shout out, even though he lost, shout out Shogun Rua, like we were talking about. Dude is retired. 98 years old in fighter years, and he's still out there giving us an entertaining fight. He lost the fight to Paul Craig. Shout out to Bear Jew. He was like the nicest interview, but he looks scary as shit. Like Paul Craig looks so scary, and he's such like a nice Scottish, just funny guy.
Now he don't look scary. Shogun looks scary to me though. Like for sure.
Yeah, Shogun do look scary too.
That's a scary looking dude right there.
But shout out him, dude. Still giving entertaining fights, and he's like a fucking 1,000 years old in fighter years. So maybe he'll finally hang him up or something. But man,
did you see they asked the Chevy family if they was gonna fight each other? Like no. They asked that. Like, would you guys ever fight each other for the belt? No. Why would I fight my sister for the belt? Like, who does that?
What's wrong with you? Yeah, who does
that?
Like,
can I have a fight for the belt? That'd be tough. I don't know if I could do that.
No. Like I'll beat Jake's ass at Thanksgiving and 4th of July on some family shit. Like,
you see Zach snuck that in. You see Zach snuck it in.
Or like we'll fight. Okay, sorry. We'll fight. Like I'm down to fight then. No. But I'm not gonna fight Jake for the title in front of the whole world. Like.
What would our fans love to see you guys get in headgear for charity? That would be fucking wild. I don't want to see it, but I do want to see it.
That's too funny.
Let's not do that, but let's do that.
That's like asking the Charlo brothers in boxing. Like, you guys want to go lock? Like,
exactly.
No, we're not about to go lock.
Exactly. Like, especially for the belt. Like, that's wild to me. That's
what the
wild.
Fuck? Yeah, that's crazy. I did see that though. Like, yeah, they're tripping for sure for asking that.
But UFC is definitely the mega combat sport out there right now. Boxing still comes in, gives you your nuggets and whatnot.
Like the Gervonta Davis knockout a couple weeks ago is pretty nuts. Just
that Terrence Crawford fight was good too.
Yeah. That dude's old, isn't he? Isn't Crawford old as shit? Still out there knocking dudes out. Still young? Fuck, I feel like I've been hearing him for a while, man.
That's just because how boxing is.
Or he took a layoff or something. I don't know. I feel like the announcers were talking like
he got in an accident. I want to say.
Okay.
Because
that was cool. I did see that
exact age. 87. He is kind of old, so he is 33.
Okay, yeah, that was like my little side sports thing. It was a good little combat.
Comes with the name though. Anybody named Terrence most likely got stupid hands. It comes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but as always, this is the other team. The Bears fucking suck. Jags, they quit. I don't care what you tell me, Jake. Lions stink. Fire Matt Patricia. Look forward to Black Friday, everybody. If you love the powder and Honolulu Blue,
it might be lit power. For us.
It doesn't. I have too much power. But still, I still do think the Jags quit. But as always, it's the other team. Mamba forever. We out.